Hello, I want to talk to you about MTHFR, and I want to show you what I am broadcasting from. That is called a wheelchair. I am able to stand for a few seconds or a few minutes, but I spend most of my time in the wheelchair. I was diagnosed with MTHFR back in 2013 with 2 copies. I have been looking at YouTube and been very upset with people that say there's no correlation. The fact is, a lot of people have the mutation. Many people have the mutation, and some never have symptoms. Same goes in my family. But I am talking to you from a wheelchair because my legs are so weak that they don't carry me anymore. I have spent many times in the hospital because the brain fog is so bad. I don't know what day it is or what I do for a living or who the president is. It's very similar to some symptoms that my grandmother had. They misdiagnosed her back in the 70s, and understandably so. She became very confused and had Parkinson's, which is something you can get with the MTHFR, and diagnosed with MG. But specialist came in, said she didn't have it. By the time they got her off the medicine, she was dead. I could go on and on. I'd really rather not go on all more into the family history. But my mother was also affected. The people in my family so far has been all females that have been affected that we know of. So I'm not arguing that there might be something else going on with the female part of the genetics, because MTHFR is not genetically male or female. It's in both genders. There is a government study. I looked for it. I can find it right now. I'll try to find it before tomorrow to give you the website. Not look under the government websites for MTHFR, and they did a study, and they had 2 brothers. One, by 15, was in a wheelchair and had cognitive problems, much like myself. His brother had the same 2 copies. By the time he was 36, it still was symptom-free. Don't know what turns it on or what turns it off. But the saying that it does not cause things is bullcrap, and I'm call it like it is. And I have just recently, I've been dealing with this for 3 years now. Somehow it got turned on. I don't know how. The last time I was in the hospital was about 3 months ago, and when they went to put in the MTHFR, it actually popped up as a diagnosis, which is new. That has not happened before. This government study is several years old, and the government says it should be a diagnosis. Why it has not become one is stubbornness, orneriness. The best treatment that I have gotten, frankly, and I found out about a month before I went into the hospital last that I have a first cousin who now has it and has been diagnosed with it. Both she and I have gone holistic. In 2013, in June, I was told by Western medicine there was nothing more they could do for me to make my plans. I'm the mother of 3 small children. Fine. I made my plans. And then I went to holistic medicine. And I am convinced that the only reason I am still here today is because I do the physical therapy, I do the occupational therapy, I work in speech therapy. I'm talking very well today. This is a good evening. I'm thinking clearly. I do require a lot of rest, and days that I sleep all day because of overdoing it on good days. And my brain gets tired, and even talking right now makes this part in my head hurt, which tells me later I'm going to pay for it. But I think this is important. I believe it's important. The misinformation out there is unbelievable. But my symptoms is I have terrible brain fog. I've been diagnosed with mild to moderate cognitive impairment. I have also um, can't walk. That's a big symptom. My arms are strong. They're not always strong, but right now they happen to be strong, which is a lucky thing because I got to push myself around in a wheelchair. I have to have 24-hour care. I don't actually have to have somebody in the room with me, but I have to have somebody living with me, and doing the driving and being around just in case. And what I mean by just in case, when I'm having a good day, it's not that big a deal. I'm not allowed, I don't use the stove because I leave it on. I don't drive because I don't think straight. There's concern that if the house got on fire, maybe I wouldn't remember how to get out of the house. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, because I'm a very stubborn woman. I'm highly educated, so I'm able to fake a lot of the cognitive problems. I do have a master's degree. I taught for 28 years and wrote 3 books. I so between my stubbornness and my education, a lot of people don't notice talking to me. If I get in a crowd of more than 2 people and 2 conversations going at the same time, I have to check out. I cannot carry on a conversation with 2 more people. It's a one-on-one. More than that is too difficult for me. I have the thyroid problems that go along with it. I have the arthritis that goes with it. I have the infertility that went with it. I'm sure there's some more things, but I can't think right now what they are. But my cousin called. She was diagnosed with it. She has the heart problems with it. She has and some of the other things that go along with this. Fortunately, neither of us have gotten the cancer as of yet. When I spoke with her, I told her that she needed to go holistic. I was happy to hear she already has. I truly believe that the others in our family would have lasted more than a year. The longest anybody lasted was a year and a half. I mean, not a year and a half, a year and 1 week. I'm at 3.5 years. I'm not sure how long my cousin is at, but please, if you have been diagnosed and you have symptoms, and everybody, the neurologists and Western medicines don't know, go find yourself a good holistic doctor. Ask them if they're familiar with MTHFR. If they say yes, ask them if you can take folic acid supplements. If they say yes, without any kind of telling you that it has to be a special kind of folic acid, but they just say yes without any kind of stipulation, they do not know about it. If you ask if they know about MTHFR, and you ask about the folic acid, and they say yes, you need it, but it needs to be fill in the blank, then yes, they do know about it. I found one that sat there and told me how much he knew about it, and that I should keep taking my folic acid. I might as well go take the arsenic. You can't take the folic acid. It does not break down. And that's my trick question. I'm giving you my trick question. I'm unfortunate if any doctors I run into in the future see this and know my trick question. But the ones that know what they're talking about specify that it's a special folic acid you must take if you have the mutation, not the regular folic acid that you can get over the counter over at CVS. If I can answer any more questions, please feel free to write them in the comment section. Don't pretend to be an expert. I just live this. This is my life. I went from Taekwondo student, music teacher, author, to having to take naps, not being able to get through the day, in a wheelchair. It's changed my life completely. It has completely turned it upside down. And on some days, I can't even talk. I'm doing very well tonight. I think I am. I don't sound to myself like I'm stuttering or forcing words out or having trouble with word finding. But some of that is that I rested today, and the other is that I am angry over a YouTube video I just saw of a guy giving so much misinformation that he's going to end up killing somebody. So please, 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 Dr. Ben Lynch is the national expert on this. If nothing else, look him up. If he understands this. I mean, this is his thing. But those are my symptoms. That's my experience with it. And please consider the source when you're being told, oh, it's all in your mind. I started out with it in my mind, and now I'm in a chair. If maybe I'd been taken seriously 3 years ago, this wouldn't be the case. I would still be doing what I love to do. However, that's not what was happening. But I know we're all here for a reason. There's a reason I'm still around. This may be the reason. I've become very adamant about people learning about this and understanding it, because it's unacceptable that we're in 2016 and people are still dying from this, and because they're getting misdiagnosed. That's just unacceptable. And when you think about it, I used to be anti holistic medicine and anti naturopath stuff, because oh yeah, you know. And but you think about it, as I have lived through it, making a big difference in my quality of life. You know, pharmaceuticals have only been around for 100 years. Natural medicine's been around for centuries. When in doubt, why not go with something that's proven for centuries rather than for 100 years? If there's not money to be made in this illness, then I guess why should the medical community do any more research with it or take it any more serious? I'm thinking they are taking it a little bit more seriously just because of the last hospital stay and it actually being in the computer. Just a little side note, they did keep me for a week, and then they didn't let me come home. I had to go to a nursing home rehab for 8 weeks. I am finally home. I've been home for about 3 weeks now. And I've only had 2 outpatient rehabs. I go again tomorrow. I don't expect to stay in the wheelchair forever. It fluctuates. It's up and down, up and down. Every time I have a relapse, though, I don't come up quite as far. It goes a little bit lower and a little bit lower. So my hope is to get back to, my old hope was to get back to not having any AIDS at all. Now my hope is to get to keep my leg brace and back to a cane, getting past a walker, getting past a wheelchair. That's my goal. I do have drop foot. I forgot that. That was my aunt that died from being misdiagnosed. Had drop foot, fell, and her diagnosis was a sprained ankle. 6 months later, she's dead. So, please don't, please, do not buy, especially if you're female, you'll know what I'm talking about. Don't buy any of the it's in your mind stuff. It is not. It is in your body. It's physical. And science, 3 years ago I was so frustrated. Now I'm starting to see that science is catching up. The government is catching up. They're posting research that they found. I give them credit for that. However, the medical community is not accepting it, because I believe it was dated 2009. But there's still hope. I expect my cousin and myself to be treated and to live a longer life. My hope is that down the road, our children and our grandchildren um, get this, that it will be a treatment, and the treatment will be an easy treatment, um, and nothing more than something like arthritis. But right now, it's not. So you take care, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye bye.